Clogs, dog and scattered fruit, the commonplace around a marriage just in time. The maker watches from the wall, a mirrored phantom in the shadowed room. She has the daylight, pale on rounded innocence, Madonna of the afternoon. His the darker side, the sombre stare, the halting hand held out as if to stop a blessing. Framed in funeral black, his face is closed, the future not for knowing. To me, it's a form of expression which enables me to use words in a way which might make in both emotional and intellectual sense, and it's using language which is something we use every day, but it's using language in a way that gives me the chance to sort of express things that I would find difficult to express either in words, in voice words that is, or in terms of prose. It allows me that sort of extra dimension of expression that perhaps sometimes you get in art or music or whatever, but you can't actually define by hard intellectualism.
It means looking for the best way of saying something. That's what I think it is. And trying to find the right words. Not speaking straight off the top of your head, getting mixed up. Trump is good at that. Trying to do it better. Like Obama before him. Probably a poet, nobody asked him about it, but he pauses now and again to pick a better word, and when he does say something, the meaning is solid and honest.
I cross my arms to keep him out. I know the soft texture of my shirt. My fingers feel its comfort. I see him nodding slightly his approval. Done deal then? What dedication to somberness speaks in him, as settled in his gaze, and yet the muscles clench and unclench in his jaw. I nod, but nothing relaxes, nothing softens. I see the sitter is the prisoner, the artist his jailer, who has striped him up in amber for his pains.
Why do I like poetry? Well, I always have since a child. I like the rhythm of it and the different words in it, and it conjured up pictures in my mind. And then I went off it for a long time, but I came back when I had more free time, when the children were older, and I started reading again. And that's when I thought, I must do something about this, and I decided to join the poetry group. And we have some quite interesting talks about all sorts of subjects that you would never think of for yourself. So it's been very interesting.
It's a way of just writing down sorting your thoughts out, sorting what I really mean to say when I can't find the words to say it. It's a process of sifting, continuously sifting until I get to the nugget of what I want to say. Sometimes it works, but 9 out of 10 it doesn't. So we're grateful for the odd flash.
The ugly faces suggest a hard and brutal life. The tavern is dirty, untidy, and very roughly furnished. There's food on the floor, the dog looks well fed. The peasants dress as though come straight from work. Do they celebrate the end of toil or seek oblivion from a dull, repetitive day with no change in sight? And are these the good old days we crave? And will we never see the light?
Poetry and nature are synonymous. I write mostly nature poetry, and I'm trying to find a language, words that penetrate nature, so there's a correlation between nature and spirituality. It's something that's been tried over the centuries, and something that nobody's ever come close to, but people have tried and will continue to try. It's what Eliot called the dissociation of the sensibility after the Enlightenment, where reason took over from imagination. So it's the age-old fight between classicism and romanticism in poetry, reason and the imagination. I tend to lie on the imaginative side of things, and for me poetry is about music, meaning and association, and music is probably the number one factor for me. A poem needs music, whether it's free or formal. In a room, square with pictures on a wall, me with a broom knowing my place, looking outwards through the windows to trees, birdsong, the fragrance of mown grass, the sentience of freedom. What does she mean, this woman? She is part of my sentience, my freedom, my art. Do we not all have choices? I choose to paint, she chooses to serve. Surely this is the wisdom of God, the way of nature. Listen to the protagonists. Envy, certainty. Half-truths or no truths at all. What do they know? I, the poet, the observer at a distance, know better than them. The Logos both serves and creates. The signpost and the sign are one. This fiction, a new reality.
Difficult to define. You ask me another day, I'll probably come up with another answer. But that's what it does to me, and it's something I've been doing ever since I've been about, as I say, in my teens. So therefore, that's what it is.